Welcome to Venusian Soul. Today I'm back with a timeless pick a card reading, and it's going to be your next blessing. So I want you to cast your gaze over the cards and ask your higher self which cards have a message for you. We have pile number 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. If you need to pause the video to meditate further, please do so. But for those of you who are ready, let's get started. Hi Group 1. So your next blessing I feel pertains to a gift of discernment, because it's one thing to set intentions or make wishes, but it's another to be really conscious and aware of what's actually going to make you happy or fulfilled. So I feel for this group, there's some sort of judgments or reflections that have been made on the past or on certain situations that have increased and expanded your awareness and your consciousness. And from that, I feel like you've received a certain level of clarity when it comes to not only knowing what you want, but knowing what will fulfill you, what brings you happiness. So I feel like your next blessing is, yes, new beginnings. I feel like you're on the horizon of new choices and there's new manifestations that are going to be coming in. But Spirit is saying these new ideas, these new insights, these new blessings are things that truly fulfill you and make you happy and leave you feeling passionate and inspired. They're not wishes or desires that you may kind of put out there or set, but then they falter or they lead to a lack of fulfillment and disillusionment. So there seems to be some sort of knowing around, with Judgment and Five of Pentacles, what diminishes me, what diminishes my energy, my happiness, my well-being, and what lifts me up. I feel with the Ace of Cups as well, you have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands and the Fool. So you have 3 cards of a new start or a fresh start. So for those of you who have been wanting a new beginning or you're moving towards new energies, I feel like Spirit is saying you can trust the new and you are leaving the past behind. So I do feel with Chariot as well, for some of you, this could literally be a move or a shift in circumstances. It could be, for example, a new job opportunity or a relocation, an opportunity to travel or to have some sort of holiday or road trip. I just feel for this group, there are a lot of blessings, but I feel like they come through, again, a clarity of which choice is going to actually fulfill you and where your abundance is with the 6 of Pentacles, what gives back to you. You also have the Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. For this group as well, your connection with the divine is strengthening, and that bond with Source, the universe, God, I feel is also expanding your ability to receive and to manifest. But again, Spirit is saying it's the discernment, because you can have the ability to manifest endlessly and you can receive all types and sources of abundance. But if you're not aware of which sources are going to lead to true fulfillment or which sources are meaningful to you, it's irrelevant. And Spirit is saying for this group, for some of you, you've reached a level of consciousness and awareness where the things you thought mattered or the sources of abundance that you once sought to acquire, it's like it's falling away. There's no longer a need for the things perhaps that are more trivial. And with Green Tara, we have supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation, trust. This is a really pivotal point in your journey where you're really able to move forward and make progress. And it's moving forward without attachment to the past, where it's almost like the past can't reach you or the past can't affect you the way it once did. Now with Solitude, we have think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. And this is what I'm saying. I feel for some of you, your definition of treasure, of success, of, gifts from God is shifting. For some of you as well, I feel like you're recognizing the inner traits, the things that are always accessible, the happiness, the joy, the love you feel within your own being are the true sources of wealth. So I feel like there are some changes here in regards to not only how you view yourself, but how you view the material. With new beginnings, we have this fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. So for some of you where it's relevant, and this is probably the minority, you could be or receive a new child, or there could be an emphasis on fertility. Again, I keep seeing a fresh start, planting seeds, new beginnings. And again, with Wish Wisely, I feel like Spirit is helping you really gain clarity in terms of what wishes and what desires are actually going to fulfill you. But with the Fool, I do feel for this group, there has been a longing or a yearning for more emotional fulfillment or more happiness and peace internally. And that could correlate with changes in the physical. I've already mentioned, I feel like there could be some movement, but I just get the sense that Spirit is aligning you to the people, situations, circumstances that really nurture you. For those of you where you have been through periods where you haven't felt fully satisfied or fulfilled with where you've been or what's been showing up, I feel like you reach a point where things start to move in your favor, or things are more favorable in regards to, you know, what you can receive. Especially with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands, I see you feeling more inspired by life in general as well. But I feel the first step with Judgment and the Five of Pentacles is this period of reflection where you're really looking at what makes you happy or what has or hasn't worked in the past, so that you have a really clear mindset as you move into the future. You're not in a space still of questioning or uncertainty. I feel like you find that inner clarity first, and that determines your next steps and the action you take. With the Lovers, there is a sense, the Lovers beneath the Five of Pentacles, there is a sense of fate or of certain things being fated. Changes that are fated, shifts that come in that create a level of change. I just see overall there are blessings on the horizon. And again, there will be differences for each of you in regards to what specifically you're manifesting. But with the Chariot, I feel like there's a lot of forward positive momentum without the pull of the past, without regression. Because sometimes we can be in that space of, yes, I'm ready for this new beginning and this fresh start, but I'm not, you know, there's not traction, or I'm finding that memories of the past, old emotions keep resurfacing that are pulling me back into a cycle or a loop. For this group, I feel like you keep moving forward and nothing is pulling you backward. There's a sense of, as well, of some sort of spiritual work where you have cut cords, or you've released the past and released the energies that no longer are serving your well-being. I also think for this group, your next blessing also involves immense trust in the universe. It's like that you've reached a point where you trust that what's meant for you is going to come in and is going to find you. That you don't need to always work. There's no sense of needing to force certain conditions or force change, force blessings. So there is a sense of peace, especially peace when it comes to prosperity and abundance. Going from the Five of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles, there is a sense here that you reach a state where you feel as though the universe, source consciousness is taking care of you, and you can trust in that. I feel for this group as well, your connection to the divine, your level of consciousness and your conscious awareness of spirit is elevating to the next level. So for some of you, your next blessing involves with Judgment, I keep seeing like the ending of a cycle, the closing out of one way of being, one level of awareness, insight, consciousness, so that you can welcome in the new or rise to the next level. So I do think overall for this group, there are a lot of positive changes and there are a lot of blessings that are coming in. But I also feel some of the rewards are very much internal. They have to do with, yes, your connection to source, which also directly affects your happiness, your level of joy. I also see you feeling a lot more inspired, peaceful, calm, emotionally fulfilled. But it's having the knowing, the discernment, and the awareness of what brings that emotional fulfillment. Because it's easy to desire a new start. It's not always so simple to be clear on what will serve you and what will bring in the change, what will lead to increased abundance in the sense of your sense of abundance, your sense of inner fulfillment. where you really feel inspired, where you feel as though things are lining up, but there's not an element of force. Things are really flowing. So that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Hi, Group 2. So in terms of your next blessings, for this group, there's a lot of spiritual and personal evolution because I keep being drawn. We have wisdom, hidden depths, and purity. There's a sense of you reclaiming lost aspects of yourself. There's a sense of integration, essentially, is what I'm feeling. I feel for some of you, there's an element of closure. We have the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 4 of Cups, 10 of Swords. So closing out a past cycle, closing out energies that may have taught you and helped you grow and evolve, but it's like there's nothing left to gain from them. You've reached that pinnacle, you've reached that place of kind of maximum evolution where you can't really take anything further. There's a sense of carrying around energies from the past or carrying around energies of what hasn't worked out with the Page of Pentacles and 5 of Swords. This could be as well realizing or reaching a point of what does or doesn't work with career, with your dreams, with your desires, and experiencing a level of grace as you move out of difficulty. We have with purity, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside of your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. So for this group as well, I'm hearing you're receiving the gift of insight. For those of you who have really been on a healing journey, especially emotionally, there's a sense that you're reaching, I just heard you're finding the key which helps to unlock you or which helps to set you free. With hidden depths, we have something hidden is about to come to light. Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we become free. And this is what I'm saying with the 6 of Cups. For some of you, you're doing some really deep inner child healing and purging around the past, around childhood, around earlier memories. And I feel, again, for this group, the gift, there could be blessings, obviously, that flow because of this release. But Spirit is saying the greatest blessing and miracle and grace is coming from the healing of yourself. Because it's almost like from this healing, you feel, yes, it's cathartic, but you feel a sense of becoming whole, or you feel as though you've been set free, which enables things to flow or enables more positive circumstances to be brought into the physical. And here we had Sacred Self, Soul Flame, rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship, harmony, and healing. For some of you, there's a healing happening around a past connection with the 6 of Cups. For some of you, I do feel this could be family or a specific family member. For others of you, this could be healing or coming to a place of peace with a soulmate. But with that 10 of Swords, it's like I'm hearing reaching a point where the past no longer hurts, where it no longer stings, where there's no longer pain associated with that energy. And with Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace, share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. So again, when it pertains to career, life purpose, your manifestations, I feel as though you're going to be having more success and more fulfillment with what you're doing and what you're sharing in the world. With that 2 of Wands, it's like you may be setting intentions or planting seeds, but I feel like it's almost like things are flowing. Your soul source consciousness is naturally guiding you. There's not a sense of needing to, force circumstances. I also feel, I keep hearing the rhythm of life and flow. So you may be, if you have been in an energy where you feel really stuck with, especially 5 of Swords and then 8 of Swords beneath it, especially stuck with finances or feeling as though, why do things not work out for me? Why aren't things moving forward? Why can't I progress? I feel like that's going to shift and change in your favor as well. But I just feel overall, can you see this woman with this 4 of Cups? She's actually looking into a mirror. And there's a sense of you integrating, or I keep hearing like the lost parts of yourself. There's a sense of you finding clarity or bringing healing and light to the parts of yourself that are wounded, or the parts of yourself that you have shut down on, that you haven't accessed. For some of you, as you're doing this inner work and this healing work, you're discovering and excavating more talents that you didn't even realize you possessed. And that could be why, you know, abundance and other factors are starting to flow more freely, because you've reached a pinnacle, you've reached a place where you can now access some of these abilities more readily. With the Eight of Swords as well, it's like gaining clarity in terms of, okay, you know, what am I holding inside of myself that still keeps me stuck to the past? What, especially in terms of cognitions, thoughts, beliefs, the things you tell yourself. Because I feel for some of you, with the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords, there could be a habit of, or a history of some sort of self-sabotage, where there's a belief that you still hold or embody that is blocking or restricts your ability to bring in the new, or to bring in what you desire. I feel for many of you as well, as the energy of the past is completely kind of cleared or severed, there's a sense that it no longer keeps you stuck, because this could be an energy where, you know, things may not be flowing to the level I desire, but I'm not aware that I'm still holding on to a memory, a person, a situation that is having that effect. And then once it becomes conscious, I realize all of a sudden things are flowing more freely, or I'm able to attract situations, circumstances, abundance beyond the level I could previously. So for this group as well, I feel like you're returning. I just heard a return to innocence. For some of you, I feel like you're getting back in touch with that inner child, or that part of you that is innocent. And what comes with that is not only a greater connection to your heart and soul and what brings fulfillment, but it's like you're rediscovering your passions, or you're rediscovering, you know, what's beautiful about life, what lights you up, what excites you. And I feel for many of you, there is this sense of, I just heard renewal, but it's like reigniting that spark, where you've been in a situation where you may not have felt as inspired, or you may have felt very uncertain about things or how things are going to move forward. I feel like you reach this point where you have a clarity of, okay, now I understand the patterns, now I understand why things had to happen in the manner they did, and what I can do to move forward. Yeah, I feel like for those of you where you felt like you lost the light, or lost the lighter sides of yourself, the joy, the spark, the creativity, I feel like that's coming back to life. With the Ten of Swords and the Six of Cups, I do feel for many of you, what you're healing and closing out and bouncing back from was a very intense experience and very painful. For some of you, it was intense because it was kind of long lasting. So it could have been, you know, healing from childhood, from, you know, a decade of pain or some sort of hurt, mistreatment. For others of you, it could have been a really intense connection. But I just feel it's like that light is coming back, that love is coming back. With Soul Flame as well, I'm also hearing part of the blessing is that you're integrating more of your soul's light and your soul's energy. And what kind of happens through that process is it's almost like it burns away the things that no longer match, or the things that no longer resonate with you. It's almost like a purification process, where the past can't touch you, where certain energies that may have been active in the past or may have affected you in the past are, you know, shedding, clearing. I keep hearing it's like the path ahead is clear now. It's almost like you're free to move ahead. For some of you, you could have felt certain desires or had certain longings or yearning, but it felt as though like I can't move ahead with it, or every time I try to move, I get really stuck and I feel like I'm stuck and can't make progress. I also think with the Four of Cups and the Two of Wands sitting above it, there is a sense of closing out or letting go of the things that not only deplete you, but they don't serve you. They're not at the level you desire, or they can't bring you the level of satisfaction you hope for. And with that Two of Wands as well, I do feel there's that promise of a fresh start, of bringing in the new, of bringing in greater blessings. Five of Swords, I do feel for some of you, there could have been a distinct Either fear of failure, or as it pertains to your gifts, your talents, your dreams, your life purpose, a fear of not being able to be successful in that area, in that field. It could have been, I feel like it's relative to career or finances, where there's limitations, or feeling as though you are limited, where you are limited. And there's a sense that Spirit is coming in and showing you new possibilities, where you're opening yourself to new beginnings. I also feel like you are going to have the ability to attract in greater success and abundance because of some of these inner shifts and changes and the alchemy and transformation that you're going through on a personal level. Because Spirit is saying, as you're not carrying these energies around, it's like your whole energy field is lightening. You're able to hear Source more clearly. So that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed the reading, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Hi, Group 3. So when it comes to your next blessing, I feel like your next blessing involves psychic ability and psychic insight. I'm hearing your spiritual gifts are expanding and moving to the next level. I feel like I keep hearing the darkness is coming to light. So for many of you, I feel like you're doing a huge amount of shadow work. There's an element of ascension, but specifically I keep hearing it's like you either have and receive certain spiritual gifts, and for some of you these could be new gifts that come online, whether it's like, I'm hearing like astral travel, third eye energy, where you're able to read energies very clearly, psychic ability, being able to read or pick up on past life energies. But for many of you as well, I feel it could just be an expansion or a deepening of these gifts, because what Spirit is showing me is you clearing away any lingering darkness, negativity. With temptation, I do feel there could be someone or something where the truth is revealed. Because for some of you, I feel with this temptation, it reminds me of devil energy, where there could be someone or something that's very captivating to you, but it's not the healthiest of choices, or there's something about that person or situation that isn't going to serve your highest good, and you're reaching a place of recognition of, okay, maybe this isn't right for me, or maybe I need to steer clear of this person or this setting. With the High Priestess and the Four of Wands, the two blessings I'm really seeing is, yes, an expansion and ascension with your spiritual energy and your spiritual gifts, but also spiritual connections, being able to attract in more spiritual connections, feeling more aligned spiritually. And with this Knight of Cups, for some of you, you're bringing in a really healthy, solid soulmate connection, for those of you where that's what you're wanting and manifesting. With the Moon sitting above it, again, I keep getting this energy of things not being clear, but now they're coming to light. So you could have been in a phase of your life where I keep hearing shadowy, where things are shadowy or things aren't clear. You feel uncertain. There could have been people or situations around you that were deceptive, that weren't revealing their true nature, intentions, whether they were of benefit to you. With the Hanged Woman as the last card, with Justice sitting above, there's some sort of clarity you're receiving around what does serve you and what won't. So there could be an energy of you clearing away, because we have temptation sitting above life energy. So again, I'm getting that kind of darkness or energy vampire type of vibes. There's a sense of you're clearing away the things that deplete your life force. You're letting go of the people, the situations that are either outrightly toxic, or that just have a negative influence on your state of mind, your well-being, your happiness. Now with the High Priestess as well, what I'm hearing is you're becoming a lot more sensitive. So some of why you're clearing, for some of you, you may be healing your lifestyle as well. Like there could be certain habits or things you consume, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, that are also draining and depleting you. And that's where there's some healing happening. But with Psychic Insight, we have your third eye is open, see truth for what it is, follow your intuition. So again, I keep getting that energy of epiphanies, and we have it sitting above the Page of Swords. So there's a certain clarity and certain truths that are coming in. And I feel like some of the truths that come in with the Five of Cups next to it are truths around what would have either disappointed you or not worked out, that wasn't in your highest good. We have Lady Portia, Divine Order, Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Now, I feel for many of you, there's some sort of, it says an important lesson, but I feel like you glean this lesson and this awareness through your psychic ability. There's something that you can see, or you're able to peer beneath the surface and receive that clarity, receive that truth and knowing. But with the Four of Wands, I do think there's a lot more discernment when it pertains to like being open to new connections, being open to the things, the people, the situations that serve you spiritually. With hope, we have hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. I feel for many of you, you're dodging or clearing away a negative situation or person because you've seen the truth about it. We have temptation. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever it's, guys. But I feel for some of you, this could show up in the form, or has shown up in the form, of a person where they're very attractive or they're very appealing, but they're not. There's something toxic about it, or it's not the full package. It's not stable. But for others of you, it could be, and for some of you, I feel like you're clearing away any toxicity. Environments that don't serve you, habits, changing up your lifestyle potentially, bringing in people that are more nurturing or more supportive of you and your energy. With Ascension here, we have move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is present. Now, again, I keep seeing that dichotomy of you transmuting the darkness, or you clearing and healing the shadow self so that you can access more light. You can live in, obviously there will always be situations that bring up a level of negativity or darkness, or there may be challenges along the way. However, you can reach a point where you're primarily living in a healthier and lighter state, and that's kind of your foundation. And I feel for some of you, you're going to be feeling like you have a really positive, solid foundation, and that's what's helping you move in a new direction. With the High Priestess though, Spirit is saying for some of you, really make sure you're using your psychic ability, and especially third eye energy. For some of you, it could be part of this blessing is not only protection or the clearing of unhealthy energy, whether that be in the form of people, situations, habits, but also as well, you may be able to use your psychic ability for your betterment or the betterment of others. Yes, it can gain and offer you clarity in terms of your path moving forward, but I feel for some of you, you may have abilities that extend to others, where you can literally work with others, where you help people heal or get in touch with their life force energy, where you help people grow or expand their spiritual gifts and their connection with Source, and that has a positive flow-on effect when it comes to you and your path and your life. But with the Four of Wands and Nine of Cups, for those of you where you have been single, or you have been focusing on manifesting a really solid and beautiful connection and soulmate union, I feel like that's what's coming in as well. But Spirit is saying with this High Priestess, make sure you're listening to your truths and psychic insights when it comes to a specific person, but people in general. Make sure that you trust what you receive and what you're feeling, rather than just what's being shown to you physically. Because I do feel, again, with the moon, there's a lot of shadowy energies, and there's a lot of energy around Spirit helping you discern illusion from truth, or discern, the darker aspects of life or your lifestyle versus what feeds and nourishes you in a positive sense. But again, this could be an omen for some of you, especially with Ascension, Divine Order, Psychic Insight, the High Priestess, to move into or expand on a career that involves your spiritual gifts and spiritual abilities. So there could be a situation where you've reached a level of attainment, ascension, growth, where you become really clear in terms of, okay, this is what's next for me. Or, I feel ready now and confident enough to, bring my gifts to the forefront, or to share my gifts, to share my abilities with other people for their benefit. I just feel like there's an up-leveling, and every time our consciousness rises, with that, we can see more clearly. The higher my level of consciousness, the more aware I am of divine truth, the more aware I am and connected to source and the divine. So I feel for this group, there is a sense of up-leveling or growth that enables you to recognize and see things more clearly. With the Nine of Cups as well, I feel like there could be relationships, situations coming in, especially one specifically, where it is more positive and nurturing, where it's almost like relationships that are based on a foundation of love, that are, you know, really peaceful, harmonious, where there's flow, there's none of this kind of toxic karmic energy attached. For some of you, your next blessing is that you've outgrown a cycle of struggle, of difficulty, of challenging people and situations and events, of things that deplete or drain you. It's like now you're able to attract in what you truly want and what you truly deserve. I also feel for this group with justice, I'm hearing karmic justice. It's like things are balancing out, or you may be on the receiving end of positive karma because of the spiritual growth you've attained. I feel for this group, you've taken certain difficulties, darkness, situations, and learned how to transmute them back to light. Learn how to bring out the positive, learn how to live in accordance with joy, happiness, and peace, even if some of the physical circumstances or conditions weren't conducive to that energy. So I do feel for this group, I just keep hearing moving away from darkness. I just heard as well, the dark times are over. So the next blessing has or is linked to integrating more light, integrating more joy, receiving opportunities, and especially relationships for this group that are of a more healing and beneficial nature. So that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed the reading, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Hi, group 4. So with this group, your next blessing definitely pertains to huge amounts of healing. Healing, growth, evolution, expansion. I feel for many of you, there's a lot of inner child healing, or for some of you, you may be healing with a particular family member, especially we have father healing here as well. So there's a sense of, and for some of you, I'm hearing this healing also changes your relationship with authority figures. But there's a sense of getting to the heart of the matter, or I'm hearing as well, like clearing out a wound, clearing out, and it's definitely emotional for this group, where there's some sort of emotional wound or past experience, pain, memory, that as you go through that process of healing, and it's almost like it's cathartic. It's like a cleansing. Now with Heart Awakening, awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. And then you have Archangel Michael, trusting heaven, you are safe, angels stand close, surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. I also feel like you're reaching a place where you can trust spirit more freely, but it's also because you feel more safe and at peace within your own being, within your own heart. With the Knight of Swords here, well, we have Knight of Swords and then King of Cups. So again, emotional healing, making sure your heart is receptive. Next to the King of Cups, we have Temperance. I feel like as well, spirit and the divine may be shining a light on certain wounds or certain aspects of yourself that you weren't conscious of, especially those aspects that make it difficult for you to receive or that leave you feeling as though you're not worthy, which is affecting your manifestations or your ability to manifest greater abundance for yourself. With the Seven of Swords and Nine of Wands, for some of you, you could have been moving through life with certain guards and defenses in place because of the past and because of past energy. But I just feel overall, there's a sense of, yes, spiritual ascension, forgiveness, growth, but especially it's like, it's almost like spirit showing me a thorn being taken out of the heart chakra, that there was some sort of programming or early experience and painful memory that was still affecting what was coming in. We have with forgiveness, you're on the path of light, love, and healing. Father healing is possible at this time. So with this card as well, Spirit is saying the next step for you to really let go of the past and to let go of some of these guards and defenses is forgiveness. And again, I don't feel like forgiveness can be rushed. You need to take your own time, and it will operate and occur on your own timeline. But there is a sense for many of you where you're working through and processing emotions until you reach the point of forgiveness, where it's completed. With inner child, the fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. And it's feeling as well like you can enjoy life, or you can potentially take not, huge impulsive risks, but small risks, and you're still safe. For some of you, you could have had early experiences where it left you feeling like you needed to guard yourself constantly, or you needed to protect yourself from life. You weren't able to trust life or spirit or the divine. And that's why we're trusting heaven. There's a new level of peace and acceptance and safety that you're feeling. We have, you are safe, angels stand close, surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. With the Seven of Swords, for some of you, you've dealt with either a lot of toxicity, or it could have literally been self-sabotage, where you felt like people kind of stabbed you in the back, or they weren't able to show up for you the way you needed them to. And I feel like you're reaching a point of peace or resolution with what has been. With light, we have the Fairy Queen of Light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. The only thing that can heal the darkness, pain, and fear is love and is light. So I feel for many of you, you're working with that energy to enable things to shift. And you also have manifestation here as well. I feel for many of you, I don't feel the first blessing has anything to do with the physical manifestation, but because of this healing, that will naturally enable you to receive more, because Spirit is saying, I feel like you're going to be feeling a lot more inspiration. You're going to be creatively quite inspired with the Empress and the Knight of Wands, and that will naturally have ripple effects when it comes to finances, what you can attract in, how you want your life to look. So I do think overall you're moving toward a really positive energy and positive changes. With the Three of Wands sitting above the Knight of Wands, in the past, if you felt like you kept attracting people, situations, circumstances that were lackluster or that just didn't match your highest good and highest intention, I feel like there's a shift happening with that as well, where again, Spirit is saying you're healing some sort of energy or wound inside of you, and it's completely changing your energetic set point. It's attracting in more positive circumstances. It's attracting in more abundance. It's offering more to you in terms of what you can receive. With this Nine of Wands as well, with the King of Cups, again, I keep seeing like a fence or a wall around your heart because of past wounds, but also because of sensitivity. I do feel for this group, you are very heart-centered, you are very sensitive souls, and there could have been situations or people where, again, like it wasn't safe to open your heart, or you felt every time I do open my heart and connect with others, I'm let down or I'm disappointed and things don't work out. With the Empress though, again, I feel like there are new beginnings and there are new blessings that are going to come in for you, but I feel like you set those intentions and you plant those seeds. I feel like for some of you, I'm seeing you literally writing almost like I heard a wish list or a manifestation list, where you're scripting and writing out what you're wanting and seeking and what you're ready to receive. And Spirit is saying it's coming in because now you are in an energy and a place where you truly believe you're worthy of receiving, where you've done some of this core inner child healing, and it's time to receive more, or it's time to ascend to that next level. I keep hearing though with the Seven of Swords, a lot of the shifts and the blessings depend on and hinge on reaching this state of forgiveness. It's almost like the forgiveness is what I just heard wipes the slate clean, or it's like your heart can finally release that burden, whether it was the burden of resentment or not understanding why someone betrayed you or acted a specific type of way. It's like reaching that place of clarity where you can lay it to rest, and that energy can no longer exert an influence on your life, on your path, on your future moving forward. I do feel, though, for some of you, there may be a need to either really commit to some sort of spiritual work or practice, or you've been doing so, which is what Spirit is kind of encouraging because it's what helps you with this process. I'm seeing many of you journaling, meditating. Literally, you could be writing letters to people that have hurt you in the past so that you can express or offload some of the energies that you've felt. It's like reaching a place where now you can speak freely or share freely in terms of, and again, you don't have to literally speak or communicate with the said individual, but there's a sense of reaching a place where, again, you make peace with yourself. For some of you, I'm also hearing self-forgiveness. If there's been a situation or circumstance that has transpired, but you felt a level of blame or regret and remorse, it's reaching a place now where you are at peace and you can completely forgive yourself and the situation, and you understand why it unfolded and played out in the manner it did. So there's a level of peace and closure and tranquility. But again, this healing has a direct ripple effect on your abundance and your ability to manifest, especially manifestations that involve your passions, your career, and just finances in general. So that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed the reading, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.